Thank you for joining us today. I'm Katie Smith with the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, and we have a very special guest with us here today, and that is Earl B. Hunter Jr. He's an experienced business leader across multiple industries. He's been widely recognized for his personality, hard work ethic, and non-traditional approach to building relationships and closing deals. Mr. Hunter is driven by success, and he's always plays to win at whatever challenge he's presented at. Mr. Hunter is the founder and president of Black Folks Camp 2, a marketing-driven business whose mission is to increase diversity in the outdoor industry by making it easier, more interesting, and more fun for Black folks to go camping. And it is a pleasure to have him today with us. And this is on the cusp of a very exciting announcement that we have recently partnered with Black Folks Camp 2 as part of a new statewide campaign that we're doing here at the department called PATH, Parks and Trails for Health. And so this year we're really committed to getting people outdoors. And a big part of that is diversity, inclusion in outdoor spaces. And so I am so excited to have him here today. And so I'm going to have him introduce himself and talk a little bit about what Black Folks Camp 2 is.
Woo! Hey, listen, first of all, Katie, thank you so much for having me. This is an honor. We've had a lot of conversations in the past and how great PATH is and how great the state of North Carolina is and how great Black Folks Camp 2 is as a company. And so to be here on this call to share the screen with you, I'm very, very excited. So number one. Number two, the state of North Carolina is amazing. I'm a resident of the state of North Carolina. And I think the state of North Carolina is the best thing since ice cream. That's number two. Number three is that Black Folks Camp 2. Most folks ask who we are. When most folks see our name, Black Folks Camp 2, the first word they hone in on is the word Black. And then it becomes like, what is that? But the word that most folks do not hone in is the word two, which is TOO, means as well and also. And so our company is an amazing company. We're probably one of the most delightful companies in the world, if I can say so myself. We bridge the gap between Black folks, people of color, and the outdoors, right? Our job is to help remove fear, add knowledge, and invite more Black folks into the outdoor space. And we're doing that via our DEI, which is our digital education initiative. We're also doing that via our Unity Blaze mission, which we'll share with you later on in the conversation. And we're doing that by also asking and hoping that the folks who are already out in the outdoors and who do not look like Black folks are willing to help us with the mission to encourage more Black folks to enjoy the outdoor lifestyle. That's who we are.
Yeah, and I know I was introduced to you because I saw someone share a post on social media. As we know, in this day and age, social media is a main point of way that people communicate. And I was inspired about what you said, and it kind of came on the cusp of some things that had happened that we had seen in the news about people of color in outdoor spaces and a lot of the, stereotypes and the things that happen behind that. And so I knew immediately that this would be a great partnership that we could have with you, with the department, to kind of talk about, like you said, the Unity Blaze and how we can all come together to protect these spaces, to engage with these spaces. And so I wanted to kind of investigate or talk a little bit more, explore kind of the goals of your organization and kind of what your guys' primary mission and goals are this year.
Yeah, so let me just go back for one thing. I used to be an executive in the outdoor industry. Okay, at a pretty high level, I was the vice president of sales for a company. I was one of the only Black executives, and still probably the only Black executive in the RV industry. And the RV industry is a $144 billion industry. So I come to this place of thought process in regards to Black folks in the outdoors, not as a kumbaya, but more so as a ROI, which for us means return on inclusion, right? Because we believe the more Black folks and more people of color who are out in the outdoors, particularly, it's not only going to help Black folks really understand how beautiful and how amazing nature is, but it also, from an economy perspective and from a brand perspective, is going to help a lot of different companies really increase their revenue because they have another group of folks who are out there wanting to enjoy the outdoors. And the other thing is that, Black Folks Camp 2 as a company, we weren't created just to get Black folks, just to go camping just with Black folks. right? If we did that, if we focused just on that, we would look like what the industry looks like right now, what the lifestyle looks like right now, when it's pretty much a 90% white lifestyle and white industry, which we're going to talk about that too. We were created to get Black folks to camp with any and everyone. We want us around the campfire so we can start having conversations with any and everyone, because we believe particularly that the campfire, particularly the campfire in our logo, is the portal to amazing conversations. And it doesn't matter your race, your age, or your gender, we all have something to say. And so thus being said, when we think about what we do on a daily basis, I tell all folks is that, there is no secret. And if there is a secret, a lot of folks don't know this, but, there are reasons why Black folks haven't been in the outdoors. There are reasons why you see most folks who camp and who have camped or have hiked. But prior to 2020, prior to COVID, prior to Mr. Floyd being killed, all those things, you haven't seen many Black folks in state parks or in any areas of when it comes to camping and things of that nature, or the outdoor spaces. And there are reasons for that. And we have data to prove this, and not necessarily just opinions. And the number one reason is Black folks have generational fear, right? There's a lot of generational fear of Black folks in the outdoors, right? Your great grandmother told your grandmama, told your mama, told you, do not go in those woods, because the woods represented for them one of the most heinous places in the world, right? Where in other groups and other folks, the woods represents a place for recreation and a place of love and a place for them to really get a sense of nature and to connect. The second thing is that Black folks really don't have any knowledge about the outdoors. The outdoor lifestyle. We don't know what tents are. We don't know what sleeping bags, RVs, cabins. We go right now. We go to cabins now and we take photos inside the cabin, and we never leave outside of the cabin. So everybody knows how amazing the cabin looks in the inside, but nobody knows what nature looks like on the outside. And the third thing is that we really have never really been invited to go do these things by the industry, number one, or by the folks who are already in the lifestyle. And when we were invited, we gave the excuse that we were scared of bugs, right? And that excuse is what we're trying to fix, because we found that excuse of being scared of bugs in the outdoors just don't cut it with us. And meaning, because I'm a 45-year-old Black male. I'm from the South. I love being outside. I love cookouts. I love all those things. Well, the same bugs that are at the cookouts are the same bugs in the forest. So for us, we are in the mode of educating. We want to educate not only just Black folks, but everyone, why we have this depletion of one group of folks in the outdoors and how we're going to change it. We spend 20% of our time, right? 20% of our time talking about the reasons why Black folks have not been in the outdoors. But as a staff, as a company, we spend 80% of our time how we're going to change that, right? That's who we are.
Yeah. And I think that that's part of too why we're so excited to be part of this partnership, is because I know you have a lot of insight into this, and you are definitely inspiring to us and what your organization is doing. And so I wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about what inspires you to get outdoors. What makes you excited about camping?
Wow. Let me tell you guys, first of all, before I became an executive in this industry, I had never been camping a day in my life. And that was probably 6 years ago. I tell folks I was a Louis Vuitton, Gucci wearing, sports car driving, Italian suit wearing executive closing multi-million-dollar deals throughout the world, right? That was my thing, right? I enjoyed that. That's who I was. And it was basically what my culture and what I knew, right? Well, when I got into the outdoor industry, I had an opportunity to float around the industry, to be in the industry, but also to experience the lifestyle. And I experienced the RV lifestyle, which I thought was amazing. I would go to these beautiful campgrounds and see all these waterfalls and water parks. I would take my family and I was like, man, this place is cool, man. This is like some dope stuff. This is not what people think that camping really is. It's not just, me pitching the tent and me trying to figure out where I'm going to go to a restroom and things of that nature. There's some campgrounds out there that have restrooms that look better than 5-star hotels. And so the exploration of that was amazing. But one of the biggest things that really drove me to the outdoors is that I took my son on a 3-month trip around the country. It was a work trip for me, but it was something that I experienced with my son. We drove over almost 14. We traveled over almost 14,000 miles, a little under 3 months, went to 49 campgrounds in 20 states. And at that time, we only saw one Black family. And that's what really drove me to really want to dig more into why Black folks weren't in the outdoors and to why I also wanted to love on it more. So in 2020, I took my first backpacking trip of all time, my first backpacking backcountry trip. And I got to tell you something, Katie, I love the guys who took me because they removed fear. They added knowledge and they invited me to go. And by the way, there are 3 white guys. But what they really did was, what I really didn't understand is that my first backpacking trip, Katie, it was 15 miles.
Oh my goodness.
15 miles of amazingness though, because what we learned and what I learned on this trip was a couple of different things. Number 1, I learned I love nature. Number 2, I learned that I love the challenge. Number 3, it was good for my health, right? I felt myself feeling like, as a former athlete, as a former graduate of Appalachian State University and also Georgia Military College, as an athlete, I felt like I was being challenged. I felt like the hills were pushing me to get over it. As a matter of fact, it actually drove me to one of my favorite quotes. You're going to have to go through something to get to something, right? Yeah. And so, but while I was doing that, I was able to see some of the most beautiful waterfalls in the world, right? I was able to sit around a campfire and have conversation with people that didn't look like me, but we had the same issues. We were trying to take care of our family. We were wanting to make sure that our children were well. Everything that I felt like that was going on that needed to be talked about in life, we were able to do that around a campfire, again, with folks that didn't look like me, but they had the same intentions that I had, right? Yeah. And but what they did have, I didn't have, was the ability and the know-all of backpacking, hiking, camping, and I learned a lot. Katie, the one thing I will say to you is that when we're having these conversations, when we talk about Black folks, I would be naive, you would be naive, and our listeners would be naive if I said that all Black folks have not been introduced to the outdoors. That would be false. As a matter of fact, that wouldn't go along with our company name, which is Black Folks Camp 2, as well, and I also. So I love camping, and I'm inspired by it, particularly because it is something that I'm in the business, but mainly because I get a chance to share this opportunity to other folks that look like me, and I'm proud of that.
And I know that for us, you hit about health and not just physical health, but mental health. We know that we recently released a press release that we had more visitation in state parks last year during the pandemic, which obviously a lot of people are getting outdoors. But I think that, like you said, I mean, it's a lot about it is connecting to the natural world, but also doing that as a way to help, whatever way that is, just getting out, walking a mile, 2 miles, camping overnight. Mm-hmm. And so when we're talking about this, like you said, that there are a lot of Black families, Black people that are already camping. This is something they've probably been doing for several years. Right. But that's not necessarily just that, because we have a lot of people that typically people think of using the outdoors. That could be a variety of Black, Indigenous, different people of color, people who might be our wheelchair users. And so what I wanted to ask you is, what does diversity in outdoors mean to you? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, let me, before I talk on that, Kate, I want to just talk about something really personal. For me, I battled COVID a couple weeks ago, and it was tough, right? It was a very tough time in my life. And for a 45-year-old male that is very healthy, a person who has, mentally, physically, and emotionally very healthy, COVID shouldn't have attacked me per what the doctors and per what folks have said, shouldn't have attacked me the way it did, right? And it attacked me in a severe way that I felt I didn't think I was going to make it, right? Well, I tell people about the health aspect of it. Well, the thing is that Black folks, these are facts. Black folks suffer from heart disease at a higher rate, diabetes and a lot of other obesity and a lot of other things that that can be cured by just going and enjoying the outdoors. Not only just that vitamin D from the sun rays, but that really that opportunity to get out and allow nature to treat you like a sponge, right? And just really just you soak it all in. Yeah. And so for me, from a health perspective, I will tell you, I will tell the listeners, and I will tell folks who may or may not believe this, I believe the outdoors saved my life in regards to COVID and what I dealt with. I tell people this all the time is that, I found my freedom in the outdoors because I was able to, my body and was able to, from an immune perspective, I was able to fight off a lot of things because I had taken some big hikes, or I had pushed myself to a place where I felt like I gotta keep going. And if you haven't gone through COVID, and some people may have, it's a fight, right? Yeah. And so it's a fight, no matter who you are. Again, I'm healthy as an ox, right? So, but in regards to, diversity in the outdoors, it's important. Diversity in the outdoors is important. Number one, because all the land, the 640 million acres of land, public land that we all, Black folks, white folks, green folks, all folks, everyone, we pay for. We all pay for this land via our tax dollars. So we all should be enjoying it. But right now, it's the folks who are enjoying it. And this is not listen, no one's harping on white folks, right? No one is saying you bad people because you're enjoying the outdoors. But let's just stay with the facts. 90% of the people who enjoy the outdoors are white. Okay. And that's fine and well and good. But everyone pays for the outdoors, right? And so we all should be enjoying it. What we found is that I believe that once we get more folks other than white folks who are enjoying the outdoors, I believe that we're going to have that type of social interactive conversations that's going to help change the world, Katie. And I mean, what people are going to find out is that COVID is driving us to the outdoors, right? You talk about from a health perspective. So the only place we really have to go is the outdoors. Yeah. And if we have to go to the outdoors, the more people who are going to the outdoors, guess what? If you already love the outdoors, if you already think the outdoors is amazing, more people are going to want to take care of the outdoors. When it comes to your voting, when it comes to you or wanting to clean it up, when it comes to your leave no trace principles, when it comes to the fact that you need to leave it better than you saw it, people have to be taught these things. And who better is to teach the folks the things about the outdoors than folks who are already in the outdoors, which make it more of a diverse place to be.
Yeah. Right? And I think that, you definitely hit on some important principles that here at the department, we definitely try to communicate to the public, which is part of this leave no trace, which is that recreate responsibly, right? So I think that part of your mission is not only making the outdoors more welcoming, it sounds like, but also once getting people there is that education component, which is that how to do this and how to do it safely. And then also how to leave it so that other people can enjoy it, which is really important. And so I know as part of our partnership, we're going to be working a lot on putting together some great programming, some great content to be able to share with folks as we continue this campaign throughout the year. Now, yes. I don't want to take up too much of your time today, but I do want to let our viewers know a little bit more about how they can learn more about your organization or even ways that they can get involved.
Right on. Well, so Black Folks Camp 2. Black Folks Camp 2, TOO, again, mean also and as well. We're a delightful company. If you look at the campfire in our logo, right, that campfire is called the Unity Blaze. And the Unity Blaze means treat everyone, everywhere equally. In the next 2 to 3 months, the Unity Blaze, which you can see here, this is a sticker. This is also a Unity Blaze patch. You're going to see those patches and those Unity and those stickers on folks' cars. It'd be Black folks' cars, white folks' cars, green folks' cars, orange folks' cars. It don't matter. You're going to see that because everyone wants to feel like they're treating everyone everywhere equally. And what that says to the people, particularly in the outdoors, who are afraid to go in the outdoors, that says to that person, look, you can come ask me a question about the outdoors. You don't have to be afraid of me. The outdoors is for everyone, right? And so as a company, we're pushing that narrative, treat everyone everywhere equally. It doesn't say Black folks treat everyone everywhere equally. White folks treat everyone everywhere equally. Asian folks, Indian folks, Hispanic folks. It says all folks treat everyone everywhere equally. And you can find us at blackfolkscamp2.com. blackfolkscamp2.com. You can find us on social media at Black Folks Camp 2. When our IG, our Facebook, we have a couple different Facebook pages. One of them is is a group that you're certainly welcome to join. We don't care what your race is. We don't care what your gender, age. And then there's also one that all you have to do is like the page. And what you'll find is, again, you'll find that we share some of the most inspirational content and copy you ever want to read, because we believe that unity surrounding what we do has more to do with people than it has to do with nature. But if you bring them all together, we now have the most delightful spiel in the whole wide world. I'm excited, Katie. I'm excited because every day of my life, man, I wake up thinking that I'm going to have a lovely day. And as a matter of fact, that's my favorite artist, Bill Withers, when he says "lovely day." That's my thing, And so
I think that's a good mindset to have, especially nowadays. Yes,
absolutely.
And I know that we are so excited to be working with you on this initiative and all the different things that we have planned. And I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. Just for those who are tuning in, this is Earl B. Hunter Jr. with Black Folks Camp 2. And you can find their website. You can find them on social media. Feel free, if you have any questions, put it in the comments and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you, Mr. Hunter, for being with me today. And I hope you have a lovely day.
Well, Katie, listen, I got to tell you something. I'm a fan of yours, Katie. I'm a fan of yours. And I'm a fan of the state of North Carolina. I'm a fan of PATH. And I look forward to driving some amazing content and copy. And we're going to have a lovely, lovely day.
Thank you. Thank y'all.